Interesting enough, as we enter the race, first thing I see is someone crashed on grid. Surprisingly, no safety car. It was coming out of turn 1. Surprisingly, no safety car. Hazer leads the way on lap 13 of this. 15 laps to go. I mean, Deck leads the way. Deck is in front of Hazer. These two looking like they'll win the race today. Yes, Mr. P will do their own personal fight. As Tesco is being chased down by Ivy. He wants the inside. Visa LB is going to go for it. Can he complete the move? He makes a bit of contact with Tesco. But that's not going to see the Mercedes let him by easily. He has to go around the outside this time, which will take him to the inside line in this corner that you can't go for the dive bomb. Ivy will go for it. Mercedes will try to hold it around the outside. They are still wheel to wheel. And the Mercedes can't keep that Visa RB behind. They're going to keep pushing out. Switch back for the Visa. Can't complete that move. And look like these two are the only ones really fighting on track. And there's yellow flag at the back. Retired for the session is Corey. It's out of the session. Is that a crash? Is that a safety car? Yes, it's a safety car. This race has been changed. The drivers who could go into the pits now will definitely take advantage of it. In light of PR Pistol and Doma Daima. They are going into the pits now, and they will be the ones who will take massive advantage of this pit stop. How ahead of the other drivers in front of them will they be when they come out? I feel like they will move up to at least P5 and P6 when everybody else does going to the pit. With Rachel coming to the pits though, he just came in for fresh mediums and might decide to stay out. And Ivy and Sesko, they are fighting for stop for now as Deck and Hazer. Hazer has damage on his wing, or is that Ferrari? That's Ferrari of English. Has damage on his wing, so he certainly will be changing his wing when he does go in for his safety car pit stop. It's going to be. I'm sorry I'm not starting comms at the start because my laptop is gone. It's like it's done. My laptop, the screen is broken. The screen is broken, and you know, I can't see. The only way I can see if I plug it into the HDMI, and I don't know where I use OBS. So I'm just streaming on Xbox now. I should have probably just started streaming on Xbox from the start, but my brother had somewhere to go and I took him. And I just recently got home, but we're here now to watch the rest of the race. It's still going to be an interesting one. Half of the race, I came in when there was a little bit more than half of the race to go. So now the safety car is coming and he's going to bunch up everybody. Declan decides to stay out. His tires are 3 laps old on them mediums. He's taking his time, making sure. Just making sure that he doesn't use as much of his tires that he can. He knows that the drivers behind him will all have fresh tires. P goes in for mediums. Remember, no hard tires in this one, so everybody has to be thinking about their strategy. Stay out on the tires that are a bit fresh, or go in. Stay on the tires that are a bit fresh, or go in with older tires. I believe most of them will go out, get fresh tires, but the ones that are on 3 or 4 laps will probably stay out because it's not hard tire race, and you definitely cannot use hard tires to the end. So the strategy is not over yet in this race. I believe maybe they will be able to take these tires to the end. Probably they can take these tires to the end. There's no other safety cars. Some of the drivers will definitely go for it. But apart from that, I don't see any of that happening. But like I said, when I joined, Hazer and Declan were fighting in front. Mr. P and English were having their own personal fight. Then Tesco and Ivy. Tesco was keeping Ivy behind before the safety car came out by Corey Willis, crashing in the S section, coming out of the S section after the first sector. Corey Willis crashed his Red Bull and brought out the first safety car of the session. And because it's no hard tires, these drivers have to think about their strategy, and my cat just absolutely startled me. These drivers have to think about their strategies, because you can't just go in for hards and go to the end. The mediums probably can go to the end from here, and a bunch of them will try it. The evening, would it? Good to see you here. Sorry about now that most of you are here. The session didn't start early because my laptop is gone. Like it's like my screen doesn't work anymore on my laptop. So for me to even use it to do assignments, I have to plug it to my TV. That's the only way I can see it. So my laptop is gone. That's why we started comms. I thought I wasn't going to do comms today, but I rushed back home, knowing that I just have to do it on my Xbox. Right here, we're going to watch the rest of the race, which is definitely going to be thrilling. As Toborito is coming into the pits now to change his medium tire. He decided to stay out on the medium that he was already on, but he's going to go in now for fresh ones. That will see him go to the back though, but I don't think that really matters to him. Oh, he's going for soft tires, Toborito. Can softs get to the end from here? 12 laps on the softs. It's going to be very, very difficult. I didn't have my wheel disconnected. Yeah, I saw. Oh, oh, it was you. I saw when I first joined, someone was crashed on track. I think it was Titan. Literally, maybe I joined, someone was crashed on track. But the safety cars didn't come out, which was quite interesting. I remember Corey crashed like 2-3 laps after I joined. That now brought out the safety car. But I feel it will resume at the end of this one. Yeah, it's definitely resume at the end of this one because Wacky Racer will join the pack. The 4 tier 3 drivers, 5 tier 3 drivers at the back. I hope they're having a good time because having 5 of your tier drivers with you is probably quite interesting to race with. Even if you guys know you're probably not going to finish in the top 10. Or you can have a race to see who finishes in the top 10. Out of all the tier 3 drivers. Is it going to be Angry Badger, Toborito, Iron Shin, Benz, or Wacky Racer? Which one of those drivers will finish in the top 10? Corey has no chance now as he has DNF from the race. So we still have 5 tier 3 drivers who can aim for a top 10 here. And we will see which one will be the best of the rest. Safety car in this lap, as expected. I'm gonna go racing soon, people. I hope you're ready. Now that the pack has been bumped through, we're gonna see interesting racing. No more crashing. No one's lacking all the way at the back. It's all going to be starting from the grid once again as we come out of the final corner. Deck will lead the way. And coming out of the corner with older tires than Hazer behind. Ooh, not the best exit coming out of that corner. It's going to a bunch of drivers behind, but he goes now. Hazer is going to be under pressure from Mr. P, who wants the inside. InterTier English had to change his wing, so that got Mr. P ahead of him as he's on the inside. The Haas gets by him. Mercedes of Tesco wants to go at the Ferrari, wants to go around the outside. He has the traction. Will they go wheel to wheel into this corner? No, not. He will back out as they go into racing now. Toborito has lost the place to JSS. He has those soft tires. He's going to have to use it as much as possible. Maybe he didn't have medium tires to go on, but the soft tires are certainly not going to go to the end. But if they do go to the end, they'll be very close to a puncture at the end of this one. But for now, Toborito has to push as much as he can and not go into the back of the McLaren. It goes a bit deep there as the kick Sauber wants around the outside of Iron Shin, but he gets a 3-second penalty. He's going to complete the move though. Iron Shin is not going to make it easy for him. Wheel to wheel they go. The Alpine with a better straight line speed can't fix and get ahead of the Angry Badger, but the Haas of Christopher Schulin down the inside of 1, down the inside of 2. He's almost making contact with McLaren, but it's going to stay away from him. 2 drivers in 1 corner for Christopher Schulin as he goes around the outside of the McLaren. Can he make it 3 in a few corners? Will he dive down the inside in this infamous left-hander? As he does so, Christopher Schulin into the top 3. 3 drivers in a few corners for him. Anyone else hate this game? Lots of people do. A lot of people do. Unlucky for you, Coriolis, for the DNF in the first race, but the season is not over. It's just begun, and you can end up finishing ahead of every other tier 3 driver. And maybe they will bring out a development section in this tier once again. But we will see as we head to the front. Mr. P, Mr. InterTier English down the inside of Mr. P. But Mr. P gets back on him into the front as InterTier is going to keep fighting with the Haas of Poem. For now, what team is scoring the best? It looks like the Williams team might be on par to score the best, but Toborito is going to have to bring out a good result unless it's going to be the Haas or the Kick Sauber that scored the most points today. Haas team already on a good start for this one. Christopher Schulin and Mr. P, a strong team. As Mr. P doesn't have a teammate, so Christopher is definitely reserving today. Down the inside, Wacky Racer has overtaken Bent, but they are away from that DRS in front. And Wacky Racer will have to try and catch back. But Bent now will have the DRS on the Alpine. And will he take the Alpine back? Does he have the straight line speed? The Alpine will not defend this. He will pick the inside Bent. And will he complete it on the Alpine? The Ferrari gets in front. And the Panting Horse will try to defend from the Alpine who wants the outside, but can't get it, and will try again. It's just too far back. The Alpine, the Ferrari will complete that move. Declan is under pressure from Hazer. They pulled away from RTM and Mr. P once again, but RTM will try to get back in that DRS as Tesco is holding on to them. He has that 3-second penalty, Mr. P, so he has to think about getting it off or running away from it. I don't want to be very difficult for him to get a podium, because RTM, Hazer, and Deck will make it difficult for him to try and pull away 3 seconds from any of them unless something drastic happens in this race with 10 laps to go. Tesco is doing a great job. He might finish in the top 4 if he just holds on to Mr. P in front, but the pace difference will start to show now as Tesco is now 7/10 behind P. He will push as hard as he can to hold on to Mr. P in front, but that's going to be a very tall order. Ivy stuck behind him. His teammate Merck in the other RB not here today. So the Visa RB team that are the favorites to win the championship at the end of this season already starting with a bit of a pushback. But we'll see if Merck returns next week and they can have the race they're looking for. There we go now. Still behind. The DRS train is very difficult to make an overtake, but Hazer doesn't have it. Hazer is going to dive down the inside of Declan, and the Aston Martin takes the lead of the race. He's going to slow down the pack a bit after making that overtake. That will see English and Mr. P get back into the DRS of the drivers in front, but English wants to round the outside of Declan. Can he hit him with the switchback? Does he have the traction? He has the better tires than Declan, but Declan can't defend from him. With 9 laps to go in this one, when they do cross the line, it's going to be the 9 laps of hell. A lot of drivers behind with penalties. Wacky Racer now currently the one who can't get the top 10. He just has to hold on to the drivers in front. But as the race goes on, they continue to pull away from him. Christopher Schulin right behind Doma Daima, who is attacking PR Pistol. And PRT Pistol, I don't know his true pace here. This is the first race that he's done with us, so I'm just going to watch him to see. But okay, let's see the qualifying play. Let's see where they actually started in this one. Position changes. Hazer started in P2. Deck was your pole sitter. English did start 2 places behind. Tesco started in P. Wait, 1, 2. Tesco started in P2. Am I tripping here? Hazer started in P3, yeah. And Declan. Oh, wow, Tesco really started high in this. Oh, he made up places. Tesco made up places. Tesco started in P8. RTM was your pole sitter. Hazer started in P3. And Declan did start in P2 in this one. Christopher Scholin has made up 9 places coming down from P18. So Hazer now has been overtaken once again by Declan down the inside, but they're still wheel to wheel. Hazer has the traction on his car because his tires are newer than Declan by about 3 laps. So Hazer might have the advantage when it comes to defending him, but it's a pack now. Declan wants the inside, the famous inside here, but he's not going to get it. Oh, as the Ferrari goes off track there, that will give the opportunity for Mr. P to slide through. Will the Mercedes do the same thing on the inside? The Ferrari of RTM English is not going to go back on Mr. P on the inside. RTM now has a 3-second penalty, but he made contact with Mr. P. English has spun. That was definitely going to happen because the place that he was going for a move was quite reckless from RTM. It's very difficult to go for a move in that corner, but he went for it whatsoever, and that's as the results as is shown there. Declan overtaking Hazer slightly, but Hazer can't keep the place. Declan is not going to make it easy for him. Hazer has a bit of an advantage with the fresher tires, and he's going to take advantage of it, but Declan definitely is going to be pushing him all the way to the end of this one. And we'll see if Hazer can withstand that pressure and come home with the win. DRS, no DRS for Tesco, so it's going to be under pressure from Ivy. We'll see if he'll be able to make that move. Declan now has the DRS on Hazer, but it doesn't look like he'll be close enough. Ivy also not close enough to Tesco in front. Even with the DRS, it's quite difficult to overtake here as Christopher Schulin wants it down the inside of PR Pistol. He's going to dive down the inside there. They're wheel to wheel now. He has the outside line as they head to the right-hander. Can he complete the move? Yes, he can. Almost making contact. PLT is not going to make it easy. The Williams doesn't have the inside, the favored line coming into this corner. And Christopher Schulin now up to P6. And he's absolutely flying in this one. Coming all the way down from P18 up to P6 in this race. As Christopher Schulin is going to keep pushing. Can he make up more places? Can he finish on the podium? He just needs to make 2 more overtakes to get a podium. Declan into the pit lane. He decided not to come in the safety car, and that is definitely hurting him now. What with the drivers, when the mediums, are they able to get to the end? If they are, that's definitely hurting Declan's race, as he's going to come in for soft tire compound for the kickstart, but he's definitely going to be pushing as hard as he can. Tesco doesn't have the DRS to Mr. P in front. Like I said, Mr. P might not be able to finish on the podium, but now it's looking likely. Hazer looking like your likely winner, but how long can the medium tires last on this track? They have about 7 laps to go. That'll be 14 laps that they need to do on the medium tires. They will be absolutely fired at the end, those mediums, and they will have to take their time and be very careful that did not get a puncture. We saw multiple punctures in the Tier 1 race at Spa, and the Tier 1 drivers that got punctured that they will be hoping that doesn't happen again, as Tesco seems like he has damage on his front left end plate. That's putting even more pressure on him from Ivy behind, who does not have damage. Ivy is going to keep pushing here. Tesco is going to take the optimal line to keep himself in front of that Visa RB, but the Visa now is stuck behind the rear wing of Tesco, and Tesco is not going to have a good chance. As Teborito now finally making an overtake on Angibaja. On the outside he goes after using the DRS on the inside. Teborito with those soft tires that he decided to go on, that definitely will not get to the end, has finally made the move into the top 10. Like I said, which of these Tier 3s will finish in the top 10 for now? It looks like it's going to be Wacky Racer, but around the outside, Declan on those softs is going to fly around Wacky Racer. What a move from the Kicksauber. His teammate is next. His teammate definitely is not going to make it easy. I mean, definitely is going to make it easy for him, as he will let Declan slide through as soon as possible. For the rest of the drivers in front of Declan do have penalties, so he can still finish on the podium in this one if the other drivers do come into the pit lane. Down the inside, Declan gets back Angry Badger, and now 7 seconds ahead is JSS, as they're going to be squabbling in front. That's exactly what Declan will need for them to keep squabbling, especially behind Tesco, who has that penalty. Tesco has that penalty, so they're going to be squabbling behind him for sure. Wacky Racer in front of me. I said Tesco that penalty. Tesco has that damage on his wing, so he's going to be struggling. Christopher Schulin and PLC going into the wall. They're a bit like the Alpine and the Aston Martin of Stroll and Alonso down the straight. Christopher Schulin, no damage on his car though. Was that damage on PLT? Yes. Massive amount of damage on the Williams. He will have to go into the pits now. But looks like Christopher Schulin and PLT coming together. Maybe these two have history from the way they were racing, but we'll see when incidents go into the steward's room. Mr. P is now 9/10 behind Hazer. He wants to hold on to that DRS of Hazer, because Declan is going to be sliding through. He's already 4 seconds behind the pack after being 7 seconds at the start of this lap. Declan is going to be pushing, but only 4 laps to go. Will he have enough? I don't think he will have enough to finish in the top 3, but he might be able to catch up to them in P5, as the English is behind Ivy, who's still stuck behind Tesco. Ivy struggling to get past the Tesco with damage and without DRS, which is quite surprising that Tesco is that strong here at Cota to keep a driver like Ivy behind without the aid of DRS and with bits of damage on his car. Ivy though is not going to give up on this one, as he keeps pushing. He's basically pushing that Mercedes to keep going Can he get ahead when they do get to the DRS? We will see. Tomarito has gotten past his teammate. And we'll see. But RTM down the inside of Ivy. Ivy struggling to get past Tesco. RTM is not going to waste no time whatsoever. He wants to get past Ivy as he feels he will be the one to best past Tesco. He has the DRS. A little bit less ERS than Ivy, but he has that straight line speed to complete the move on the Visa. Our big Christopher Schulin has overtaken Dermodima, but look behind. Declan is absolutely pushing to catch up to them at the front of the pack. He's on those soft tires. He will catch up to this pack here. He might still finish on the podium. He most likely will finish on the podium at the end of this one. But where will he finish compared to Mr. P and Hazer, whose tires on the last 2 laps will absolutely fall off, and that will give the chance to Declan to catch up to them a bit more. But if he does get into that 3-second buffer of Mr. P, Declan still has a chance to finish in P2 in this one. Lap 25 has begun. They will have 4 laps of racing, and that might just be enough for Declan definitely to catch up to the pack that he can see now. There's 5 drivers in front of him that he wants to get ahead of. RTM pushing the Mercedes of Tesco, who has kept Ivy behind for the longest time. But now it is RTM time to try and get past him. Angry Badger has overtaken Wacky, but Wacky still doesn't have that penalty, so he will finish in the top 10. Angry Badger also looks like he will finish in the top 10. So there's 2 tier 3 drivers finishing in the top 10. So big up to them. Ofun Doma Daima also a tier 3 driver, but he doesn't race in the main tiers. In P7 in this race, a good race from Doma as he's holding on to Christopher Schulin and the rest of the pack in front of him. But Declan is catching up to them now. He will definitely be in that DRS after they get through these sectors, as he's absolutely pushing now. You know those tires are burning to the core as he has 5 drivers in front of him that he will look to get to, but Declan will clear them ASAP. And this is going to be the interesting one to watch. Let's stick with the kick salver of Declan and watch him slice through the pack here. Now he's going to be pushing on. Let's just stick with him and see what he does. He's going now. He's going. He hasn't got into the DRS yet, surprisingly so. But after this corner, it looks like he will be into it. At the next DRS zone, Declan is going to have a chance to attack Doma Daima first in the Red Bull. Then Christopher Schulin, if Christopher is stuck behind Ivy. Then Ivy, then RTM English, then Tesco, who still is keeping these drivers behind. What a drive he's having today. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's keeping all of them behind without the DRS and with damage on his car, that Mercedes. And showing that in these sectors, maybe that's where he's saving as much ERS as he can, so he can blast it all down on the straight. But RTM has the better entry coming to that corner, but because of being compromised, he can't attack Tesco as they head into this corner. He's going to have the DRS Tesco to keep RTM behind. And here we go, but RTM is very close now, and this might be the moment. Tesco is going to use all that ERS in his car, but RTM definitely is going to be gaining on him as they head down the straight. He's peeking the inside. Ivy is trying to defend from Christopher Schulin behind. Can RTM complete the move on Tesco? Yes, he can. Declan has cleared Doma Daima behind, and he now has 4 more drivers in front to clear. 2 laps to go in this one. Hazer certainly is going to be your winner. Mr. P, because of that penalty, can't attack Hazer to try and get the win in this way, so he's going to just hold on to the end of this one to make sure that he doesn't get a puncture on his car. Declan now is going to try and attack the house of Christopher Schulin in front. And can he get him with 2 laps to go in this one when they begin lap 27? Tesco has finally been overtaken by English, but Tesco has that penalty. English also has that penalty, so they will both be finishing behind Ivy, who's looking for the move on Tesco, but he can't complete it. Declan now, is he stuck in this DRS pack? His soft tires have reached the point where they will start to fall off, but the pace that he has in him personally might still be enough to look for moves here. They're coming into this sector where you can't get very close to the driver in front. You don't want to get compromised coming out of these S's because you want a good entry and exit coming out of the corner before the DRS zone. So here we go now. Can Tesco keep Ivy behind like he's done for multiple laps now? Out here will continue to run away. Declan wants the inside of Christopher Schulin, gets the inside of Christopher Schulin. They make a bit of contact, but Declan is going to clear him. And Declan has the ERS and the DRS to keep the Haas behind. Does Tesco have enough to keep Ivy behind? Yes, he does. Up to P6, Declan goes. Will Christopher dive down the inside here? Yes, he will. Declan is trying to defend him, but Christopher, deep dive from him. Declan has the inside line as they head to this corner. He still is not going to make it easy for Christopher. But Christopher will have the inside line coming into this frame. Oh, as he made contact with Declan, trying to go down on the throttle, losing the back end. And Declan will complete that move. Up to P6 he goes. Next is going to be Ivy. Declan still has a podium set for him in this race, but he needs to clear Ivy and Tesco ASAP before RTM runs away in this one with 3 seconds. Declan needs to clear Ivy and Tesco. Ivy wants that podium. He definitely is not going to make it easy for Declan to grab that podium away from him. Ivy has it in his hands. All he has to do is keep Declan behind on the final lap of this one. It has been a very exciting race. Angry Badger now with a penalty that will see Rocky Racer, or who was already finishing ahead of him. Toberito has gotten by his teammate on the 2 Williams on soft tires heading to the front. The Haas drivers will be scoring the most points today. Haas will take the lead of the constructors, followed by the Aston Martin. But now, as we're in the final lap of this one, can Declan get Ivy? He needs to get him for the podium position as they are pushing to the end now. He does have the traction on Ivy. Will he get it as they head down the straight? Ivy a little bit squarely with his car there. Declan has the DRS and the ERS, has the straight line speed on the Visa LB. This is the fight for the final podium position. Will Ivy fight it hard? He knows that they can still hold on to English in front if he doesn't, but he's not going to give it up easy to Declan. He takes the inside line. Declan will take the outside line here. They make a bit of contact, but will Declan dive down the inside as he comes in this corner? Yes, he will. That is the podium for Declan. What a comeback drive. Ivy wants to hold it around the outside. He does. Visa RB, kick Saba, wheel to wheel. Feels like last season all over again. But Ivy can hold him back. Asa is going to cross the line to win. Mr. P takes P2. Has ITM English done enough to get the PT? Yes, he has. Declan and Christopher Schulin. Looks like they make a bit of more contact. Ivy will not take the final podium position. He will take P4. Tesco in P5, Doma in P drops down to P8 because of his penalty. Christopher Schulin takes P6, Declan takes P7, P8 for Doma. JSS is going to finish in P9, Wacky in P10. The only driver into the top 10, no, 2 drivers into the top 10 for the tier 3s is going to be Wacky and Doma Daima Iron Shin finishing right behind his teammates. Angie Badger will take P12, PLT Angie Badger dropping out P14, PLT and Toberito 12 and 13, Angie Badger 14 and Bents will round up the grid in P15. Hazer in the Aston Martin wins a dramatic race here at Cota. And that was a good first race for the InterTier. The Aston Martin driver of Hazer takes the first win of the return of the InterTier, followed by Mr. P on the podium and RTM English. Hazer is going to be very happy with that one. A race win that he definitely will be looking for in Tier 1. But he gets it here in the InterTier, and the champagne is going to taste the best in the Aston Martin camp. Hazer wins round 1 at Cota. Nice one, lads. Not so bad race. The fact that we just watched a little bit more than half of the race was quite exciting. And that is your list of driver of the day. Most of our take cleaner driver race with our fastest laps. Alright, let's make sure we get the finish in order. Look at those drivers who DNF'd. And the incidents. DNF lap 13, Corey Willis. Let's see. There you go. Incidents, everything taken. And thank you guys for tuning in. The few that did tune in. I saw that 14 people were here, but more people started leaving. Thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Willie Fernandez. We've been UFRL. Next week, the comms will start from the start of the race. Don't worry, people. I did a little as I could do. So good night and goodbye.